Welcome back to school. So in this lesson today we're going to do some work on portraiture. Often it's good to draw from real life, as you've heard me say before in school. But there's nothing wrong with working from secondary images as well, so that's images that have been taken before. We're going to be working on faces, but particularly smiling faces. And this is why I think it's a good excuse, actually, a very good excuse to work from a still image. Because it's going to be very hard to have a mirror in front of you and smile like that and actually draw yourself for at least 30 minutes. You can, if you want to do self-portrait, obviously take a photo or work from a photo of family or friends. Or you can find a picture in the house. So you might know this celebrity. It's just a DVD I found in my landlord's house here of this man smiling. And what we're going to look at is how, when we open up our mouth and smile, it affects our cheekbones and the whole structure, even our eyes. And it's quite hard to draw a smile and make it look genuine, so it doesn't look like a grimace. So we're really going to focus on how we can make somebody look like they genuinely are smiling in a drawing. Okay, so I'm going to draw here. First thing, even if it's a small picture, I would like you to draw to fill the page. So we'll start off just getting the overall size of the face. Now, sketch lightly. I here am drawing a bit darker so you can see it, because there's no point you just watching a piece of paper that looks like it's got nothing on it. And I'm not worrying about the actual particular detail of the shape of the face, just thinking about the size. So where are the eyes? A lot of people think the eyes are like 2/3 of the way up the head, but actually that's because we have hair here. In fact, if we take from the top of the head to the eyes and then down again, the eyes are halfway. So I'm going to start off by putting a line across. I've got a face that is dead straight on, looking out at the camera, so therefore I can put a line going up as well. Now you'll do these quite lightly, because you then don't need to rub them out or even see them. You can blend them in later. Again, I'm doing them dark so you can see them. Okay, so this is where the nose is going to be in alignment with this. Now halfway between the eyes and the chin, we would have the line of the mouth. Okay, now we can't see his ears very well, but roughly at the corner where the mouth is, and then around about here with the eyes, is where you would see a little bit of the ears. People often overdraw the ears, and you actually only need to do a little suggestion. Like I said with his, you hardly even see them. Then you can start deciding, actually, the hair comes down to about there. And we've got the side hair. I'm keeping it quite geometric at the moment. Quite broad and bold shapes and lines. Okay, so now because he is smiling like this, you can see that his cheekbones have lifted up and his chin has become more pointed. So I'm just going to cut into this here to make it look like his chin is stretched down. And whatever I do on one side, notice I'm repeating it on the other. Although our faces aren't perfectly symmetrical, none of them are, for any of us. They're generally in the same shape, aren't they? Okay, then the cheekbones are coming out slightly. If you've got an older person later on, you might want to be doing like the suggestions of the wrinkles or somebody laughing. So, there we go, we're getting the broader picture. Now, eyes. The eyes, if we imagine like actually measure the width of an eye, you can see actually nature makes us have almost exactly the shape of an eye in between. So I can say I'm going to start there and start there, and then that is how wide roughly, some of us have bigger eyes than others, but that is roughly how far apart they're going to be. Okay, can you see that? So that's the corners of the eyes, just giving myself a guideline like that. Now, when we smile, we tend to, make our eyes a little bit more closed like this. So that's going to affect how you draw the eyelids. You don't want to have them wide open and smiling. It doesn't make sense. So, okay, I'm going to make the lines slightly shut like that. And then remember we have a tear duct which slightly goes down. And then again, I'm doing this quite dark. You can do it lighter and then adjust it. So I roughly have the eyes in shape. Okay, now let's put a little bit of a suggestion of where the iris is. So is the coloured bit, and the pupil is the black bit. It's actually a hole. If you think about your eyes like a camera, when you take a picture into the sunlight, the camera will close up inside so that less light is coming in. And if you ever notice, I'm sure you've done this in science lessons, but when you look with the black pupil into you should never look at the sun, but say into the bright light of a light bulb, it will contract and get smaller, so you don't need so much light going in. However, the lines of the iris, the coloured bit, and the pupil always stay in alignment. It just gets bigger and smaller, that black bit. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the iris. Usually if we're looking straight on like that, if you look at my eye here, you only see white at the edges. If you draw it like this, you're going to look shocked or surprised. You know, we don't draw them like fried eggs. So usually the top half is covered, and you might see a little bit of white underneath, especially if they're looking up. So I'm going to just do that there. And again, you might even want to do some lines like this to give you a suggestion, but this will be symmetrical. And then, so this is the iris, and then the pupil, like that. Sometimes I like to shade them and leave a little bit of white to make it look like it's shiny, you know, catching the light, like that. And then later you can put some nice patterns or put colour in. I don't mind. Don't overdraw the eyelashes, just a suggestion. Okay, I'm going to leave it for now. I'm not going to put too much detail in. The nose. So the nose is halfway between the level of the eyes, roughly, and the level of the chin. So again, I'm just going to work on one side, then work on the other. Just really, because we're looking from this angle, we'll see the shadow. We won't really even see the nostrils on this case. And then this is just the shape of the skin around the nostril going up, drawing one side and then the other. Now what happens when somebody smiles is you get these great lines coming out to show we're really lifting up our face. So we can do those. Now if you keep it very linear like that, chances are it might look a bit severe. So later on you can just put some shading and even, you know, use your pencil to soften them up a little bit. Okay, this is also going to create, because this is now coming out, and these cheekbones that are here, you know, they're getting covered with the kind of the flesh here. So we get shadows down the side. So I get shadows down the side of the face like this. Going to make it a little bit more 3D, and make it look like the face is really lifting up. Okay, so I wouldn't draw all the way around the nose because it's not like a coloured eye or coloured lips. It's just a piece of protruding bone with skin on it. Again, if you look at my face here, light is coming from this side, so I guess you could draw a line just on this side with a bit of shading. I'll show you what I mean here. So if the light is coming from here, you could say, okay, so there would be some shadow down this side of the nose, and just blend it in a little bit. Okay, so it's not too severe. When you smile, you get these creases in here as well, so maybe you could put some shadow. Not looking like he's very happy at the moment, but it's just a work in progress. It really is the best advice I can give you when you're drawing faces, is keep working all the way over. Don't just finish one area, because if you do a perfect little eye and then perfect lips and then they're in the wrong place, they're wrong proportion, you're not going to want to rub it out. So keep working over the whole thing. Now, keep questioning what you're doing and adjusting it as well. So I think actually I could make that chin a bit wider. I'm going to have a go at doing the lips now. So, everybody smiles in a unique way, which is a very beautiful thing. With this man here, actually, his top lip, this is why it's good to look at a still image, so it's not moving about, still, and you can really study it. But this man here, his top lip is quite straight and it curls up Makes you smile just looking at it actually. Curls up at the corners, and then light is coming from above, so this lip is more in shadow. Give myself a guideline first. Okay, so this one is more in shadow. I've put quite a uniform shadow there. You could make it a little bit darker at the sides if you have time. Okay, we all have a little dip here in the middle as well. And then the bottom lip, probably the light will hit this one actually. So we're going to put the teeth in as well. So leave a little gap, join that up like this. Keep it, like I said before, quite angular to begin with. So I see a straight edge there, a little bit wide, so I'm just going to adjust that. Keep questioning what you're doing. And then one side, then the other. Okay. Don't overdraw the teeth, just give a little suggestion, because you know it's just the shadows on that white enamel, so you won't see really distinct lines. If anything, just put a bit of shadow in there. Okay. Now the shadow is not going to be solid like this one because the light is hitting it. You might want to put your shadow actually more underneath the lip and then a little bit at the edges, and just blend that in. Okay, so we're beginning to get a smiling face. The smile affects the rest of the face as well, so you know, like I said before, you might see a suggestion of laughter lines here. When you're drawing the neck, I mean, you can't see this man's neck much because his collar is up, but if you take the line of the pupils, that is roughly how wide the neck would be, okay? But I'm going to just cover this with his jacket there on either side. Okay. After this drawing lesson stops, you can add in other detail as well, like the detail of the hair. Don't forget to give him eyebrows and a little suggestion of eyelashes. So I'm just going to do that now. Again with eyebrows, I would really suggest that you draw one side and then do the other. Don't do the whole eyebrow. Do a little bit, then go over the other side. So you can really just keep it fairly symmetrical, although like I said, there will be slight changes in each size of our face for every single human being. Okay, so gradually building up texture, and you can work in a bit more shadow. Okay. So when you're doing the eyelids, everybody's faces are different. So, you know, some of us, you can see the line of the eyelid there. This man, actually, some of us have an overhang, so he has an overhang. You don't really see much of an eyelid. You probably just see more of a shadow like that. Okay, so I'm going to just darken up his hair. Notice how sometimes I'm drawing like this because I want definition, and sometimes, so my pencil on top of my hand, sometimes I'm putting my hand on my top and using the edge of it, because then I'll have a greater surface area and I can really put in a softer and quicker actually shading like that. And then after I've done the hair like that, I might go back and actually work in some detail with the point so I can get more definition again. You can draw with your rubber and pick up bits of light too. Even with the white of the eye, as you're working into it, you can imagine it's a round ball, isn't it, inside your eye socket, so you can put little bits of shadow at the edge of it. Okay. Okay then, so that's what I'm going to do for today. I look forward to seeing what you do. So I want you to draw a smiling person, and later today I will see lots of smiles pinging in to the Google Drive. I look forward to seeing what you're doing. Have fun. Bye bye.